Good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure being here. And at least for those that are meeting here on site, this is like a family reunite after such a long time. So we are very grateful that you took the effort to join us here. Thanks. And be part of this official launch event. And of course, for everyone that is online, we appreciate that you take the time to join and listen in as well. And I hope that you can engage through the chat, through whatever opportunity there is to be part of this event as well. So I have the pleasure to running you through the basic setting of the DUT partnership, give you a bit of a framing for today, for the panel discussions that we will have throughout today, and of course much more content on the thematics will come then tomorrow. All right, let me figure out that one. The big green one. This one. This one. All right, here we go. So just for the formal setting, the DUT partnership, as Hans-Günther pointed out, is a public-public partnership between 27, soon 28 European countries and the European Commission. And with that, we have now for the first time a long-term framework that allows us to cooperate and joint program research and innovation in our context of urban transitions and sustainable climate neutral urban development. And the setting of the partnership allowed us to not only bring together the funders, the program owners and the funding agencies, the regional and national ones, but we have been able to widen up our set of actors in terms of getting quite a number of policy organizations, public authorities that are dealing with urban policy making, and by that strengthening our ability to connect science, research, and the policy making. And that's something that we would like to grow and continue working on. As said, it's a long-term endeavor, so we have indicative budgets, a framework, a commitment of the participating countries, partners, and the European Commission to cooperate for the next 7 years, plus formally, operationally, the program will run until 2032 about. So this is quite a long-term program that gives you continuity as a community to understand what is coming up over the next years. It's not a one-time shot, it's a long-term endeavor that we would like to embark with you all together. We're not starting from scratch. Hans-Günther made that quite clear, at least building upon the joint programming initiative Urban Europe that is up and running for more than 10 years now, with 15 calls that we have launched so far, with many projects, very interesting cases, but also with a comprehensive program management that we established to build the community, to work with you as cities, as urban actors, as stakeholders, as research community, to set the scene, to jointly create this program and deliver the impact that we would like to get there. So there is a lot that we have experimented already, a lot that we can build upon, but as Christos said, the ambition is even higher. So we want to take the next step. We want to leverage what we have achieved so far, but continue experimenting, continue expanding the framework that we are offering for all of you in terms of not only providing funding for research projects, but for creating a framework that allows to bring strategies into action. So we are less interested, to be very clear here, on kind of traditional research projects that deliver insights and very interesting cases, but we want to get this research connected to actual issues, challenges in the cities. We want that research teams up with the municipalities, with the local stakeholders, with local initiatives, everyone that has a stake, to jointly innovate, co-create new solutions and approaches, and find ways how we can transform our neighborhoods and our cities. So this co-design, bringing people together, is really essential for us. And accordingly, our program is not just providing the funding. This is what you will see as a most visible aspect, of course, measure, but basically it's a much more comprehensive program that we're aiming at. In that sense, we have been designing that program with many of you. I hope many of you are at least online joining us today, that have been part of all the discussions since more than 2 years. We are creating this program, and which aims to strengthen the knowledge base. Urban transformation is urgently needed. the last summer has shown it on various ends, that this is really key, that we need to get things going. The mission and European policies is very clear on what the ambition is and what is at stake. So we want to contribute to that, and we need to drive this transition all together, which on the one hand means that we want to contribute the evidence, create good cases, knowledge, innovation of various sorts, but we want to do that to make this research relevant for the cities. So it's really essential that there is a cooperation between researchers, local municipalities, local authorities, city administration, all the actors that play a role to address a given topic. And we are confident that we can deliver on this. Looking into the last call that we have launched, we see that we already have a share of nearly 25% of project partners in the funded project, 25% coming from local authorities or municipalities. About the same number coming from local initiatives, from other associations. So we see that the mix of actors engaged in our project is really diversifying. And this is encouraging, and we certainly would like to get going on this, using our urban living lab formats and other approaches to innovate in our cities, and making that available. So I think it's essential that this is not a project that is then finished with very nice results, and then it goes to the drawer. If we need to use that, we need to mainstream this. Topic-wise, we have picked 3 main domains, if you will, 3 thematic priorities that we believe are essential entry points for cities to transform. And while they, each of them kind of individually represent an entry point because they come up in the strategies of the cities, they're essential, addressing important parts of the urban infrastructure, of the urban system that has to be maintained. They are, of course, highly connected, and by addressing them all together, we hope that we can offer an integrated perspective with different starting points, perhaps. So digging a bit deeper, and even more to come than of course, tomorrow. The one on positive energy districts, looking into the transformation of the energy system, has started 2019, so this is already ongoing. We really hit the road running on these thematics, which follows a very holistic approach on how we can transform the urban energy system by strengthening renewable energy supply, by improving energy efficiency, integrating it into a regional system. So there are all ends. Innovation is needed. We have the ambition to initiate, support 100 positive energy districts until 2025, so very soon, actually, but then continue, of course, towards 2030 to create a portfolio of measures that helps also towards the climate neutral city mission, and creates a portfolio of solutions, approaches in support of this energy transformation. So the thematics that we have picked, and you will dig deeper, much deeper into that tomorrow. This is, of course, about how we mobilize the energy communities. It's about the infrastructure, the energy generation based on renewables. It's how it's integrated into the regional energy system. So a multiple set of key areas that have been identified with the stakeholders, with the municipalities, as key areas where innovation is needed. Likewise, on the circular urban economies, which is very much built upon regenerative urbanism, to understand how we can deal with the resources, how we can optimize our resource use in the cities, and how the social economic dimension is playing along that, so that we ensure that we have livable, inclusive, green communities and neighborhoods that with a high quality of life and based on circularity as much as possible. Again, the ambition is to create a portfolio of solutions and approaches that help to transform, that can be picked up in different contexts and be of use for cities. On the thematics, this goes into the food system, local urban food generation production. It's about the buildings, the built environment as well, on what materials are used, how we deal with nature-based solutions, how we redesign our circularity in economic terms, how we use the resources and maintain our tools and infrastructure that there is. On the 15-minute city priority, we are fostering the principle and the paradigm of the 15-minute city concept without taking it perhaps literally in that sense, but following the notion of redesigning our neighborhoods. It's not but replacing one mode by another or what type of vehicle by another, but it's a substantial transformation of the mobility system that we're looking into, and creating integrated neighborhoods with a high quality of life. It's in that sense about livability, inclusiveness, affordability at the same level as it is about climate neutrality, and providing different means of mobility for the people. Again, a portfolio of solutions will be developed until 2030 in that regard. And that includes how we travel in between the neighborhoods, how we deal with the rather periphery, the outskirts of a city. What does the 15-minute city principle mean for this area? How do we deliver in the future? How we promote active mobility in a very strong sense, and the issue of data and how to activate hidden resources in a neighborhood will be looked into as well. So all of that in more detail is also available in our strategic roadmap, which I really wanted to have a copy here, and I forgot about that one, but you can use the QR code, download the roadmap. It's available from today onwards, and this gives you a framework on what the priorities are in as much detail as we could at that time. It indicates our activities that we are planning, and it even indicates a multi-annual call agenda. So give you some guidance what is coming up, not only in the call that we just launched two weeks ago, but in the future, in the next years, what is to be expected, to be prepared to join these forces. And this agenda has been co-designed in quite many meetings with the stakeholders, with the municipalities, to make sure that we hit the important topics that we are addressing, the hard nuts to crack. So on the one hand, we are addressing these issues in our calls, right? This is the essence of what we're doing, but this will be accompanied by quite a comprehensive portfolio of implementation measures. This is not only but providing funding and then letting you as a research project run along with that. This is about building and strengthening the community that there is, build the capacities on all ends, which means that we are on the one hand working with the funders to design more appropriate instruments and funding mechanisms that allow you to cooperate well across the different stakeholders. It is about the investment, of course. It is about bringing people together, building these communities across different stakeholder groups on the thematics that we are addressing. But it is also about sharing this information, valorizing this information, bringing these results into our cities, understanding how we can mainstream the results that there are. So we are investigating on different ends, and we'll come up with a variety of instruments and support opportunities to make the best use of what we are creating and what the projects will create, and enhance the impact in order to meet the expectations also of the European Commission. So there are plenty of opportunities to be expected to join, in particular when you're a researcher, a local authority, a municipality, an infrastructure provider, a local initiative. Join forces, get back to us, be part of this endeavor. We do have city panels in place that offer you, as city in particular, an opportunity to co-design what is coming up in the next years. Join the projects, whatever stakeholder, whatever kind of organization you are, you're welcome to join our projects, and you will hear more about the call then tomorrow afternoon. We are offering opportunities, workshops, webinars, trainings, whatever kind of setting that brings together different communities and sharing this knowledge, being part of that, learning together. And hopefully through valorization, benefiting from experiences that other cities, other projects already did. So I leave it with that. I think it was longer than expected, but that's so far the setting that we are, and we're very much looking forward to engaging in the next phase with all of you. And then, and we will celebrate then this afternoon or this evening then our official start and being part of this endeavor. Thank you.